Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Aaron Hour. Today on the Aaron Hour, we have a guest, and co-host James isn't here today, so we have somebody filling in from Heath. Heath, say hello.
Hello.
Okay, thank you. And our guest, why don't you say hello?
Hello.
All right, your levels are pretty good there.
All right, thanks. Can you check them in like 5 minutes though, just to make sure?
Yeah, I will. They look pretty good. All right, well, we're gonna start today off as we start all.
Is this broken or does it only come out? What? Broken or does it only come out one side? It's just broken. Okay.
We're gonna start the show off with a poem, like we start all shows off with. This poem is by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, and it's called "In Flanders Field." In Flanders field the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row. That marks our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly. Scars heard amid the guns below. We are dead short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up your quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If you break with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field. All right, that was In Flanders Field by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. So Caston.
Yeah.
What are you doing on the show?
I guess I've just been a big fan of the Aaron Experience for a while now, and I always see the videos, and I was just kind of curious, how they get made. I guess I just wanted to be a part of the magic and just kind of get behind the scenes a little bit, pick your brain about some of the upcoming stuff you're working on.
Well, I am working on lots of things.
Like what, Aaron? Like what are you working on?
Well, recently I've been trying to bulk more.
Like your body or like your brain?
Well, both, but my body more specifically. My brain is always in like churning and getting smarter, I hope.
So what does bulking look like for you? Because I've never seen you eat a meal that fits on a plate. You know what I mean? Like everything you're eating is kind of spilling over and like it's on your chest or something. You mostly eat shirtless. So like how could you eat more, I guess would be my question. How do you get those extra calories in?
Well, interesting you should ask. I've been eating a whole can of beans every day with a whole bag of Fritos. And like,
are you okay with that? Like, is your stomach okay?
I've been going to the bathroom quite regularly, but I have gained over 5 pounds now.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I can tell. You look pretty thick over there.
Yeah.
Filling out that chair pretty nice.
Yeah. The chair is making a lot of creaking noises though, but hopefully, yeah.
So are you bulking for like lifting weights or just like you just feel a little small recently?
I just want to lift weights and maybe, yeah.
What are you putting up in the gym, dude? What are your numbers?
I just hit 305 on the deadlift.
Oh, I thought you meant like on bench press.
No, I don't like bench.
Oh.
This is probably pretty boring to our listeners because none of our listeners are very strong.
Well, I'm one of your listeners, Aaron, and I'm pretty strong. I just hit a 400-pound double on back squat, so I don't know.
Okay, way to brag. I was talking to Heath about this before you showed up. The whole point of having a guest on the show is not to learn about you. It's to learn more about me.
Well, can I start with some of my questions then, Aaron? Because, you
yeah.
can ask me some questions. I thought it was time for me to talk a little bit about myself.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right. How you doing, Aaron?
Okay. It kind of caught me off guard there. I don't like talking about my personal life too much. And any other questions?
No, that's all I had, actually.
Oh, okay. It's strange because we were just talking about some questions you had, and then you're like, this is like some really great discussions, and then you're like...
Well, you just said you don't like talking about yourself, and all of those questions kind of pertained, to you.
Well, that was a lie. I obviously like talking about myself.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't want to interrupt the pace
I'm
of the
kind
show.
of a narcissist, but,
Oh, tell me more about that.
I love attention, but I hate talking to people.
Mm.
Like I like getting all this attention.
So how does that come through in your videos? Because you paint yourself as like a figure in a public forum almost. You're kind of speaking to the masses. But if you don't like speaking to people, then how is YouTube kind of like a wall where you can interface with people in that way? Or
Well, like, I like speaking. I like attention. I will happily like speak live too. But if I have to like go talk to people I don't know. I'd rather do jokes for people I know because I know they'll find it funny, and I try to make them laugh.
Is that what you think people do with your YouTube videos?
I hope they're laughing at me or with me. I just want to entertain people, you know. I don't know. Heath, my co-host, is having a coughing fit over there. Strange.
How you doing, Heath?
I'm doing great.
Are you living the Aaron experience?
I am living the experience.
So, Aaron, could you tell me a little bit? I guess I'll ask those questions that
Yeah.
I proposed to you a little bit earlier. Tell me a little bit about your comedic style, what the Aaron twist is on when you're telling and writing jokes, and maybe a little bit about like some of your influences.
Well, the biggest thing I think is there was a switch at some point in my life where I was just like, I realized, man, I'm kind of a weird person. I'm kind of an out there personality, and everybody else is trying to do the same old thing, trying to be straight edge. I got to be cool. I got to get everybody to like me. And I was like, that's kind of boring. I'm going to show that it's okay to be weird. I would say something cheesy like it's okay to be yourself, but I don't think that's true because I'm not myself. I play a character almost all the time. What was the question again?
I said, so what are some of your
Wait,
biggest...
hold on, excuse me. Can you talk 1 sec? Just say something?
Oh, are you checking my levels?
Your levels are good. Your levels are good.
Okay, thanks, sorry.
Yeah, okay. What was the question?
So I was asking about your comedic influences, like what influences your style of comedy specifically? What kind of comedians are you looking into? Maybe alive or dead, up and coming? What kind of stuff are you into?
Well, I really am a big fan of like Cars, the movie. I think that influenced me a lot. Angry Birds, the movie, that also influenced me a lot. We talked about that last episode. Penguins of Madagascar, that's a really big influence. The Gangster of Westland, Oregon, Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen, nice.
Yeah, I like him. Norm Macdonald. Recently is the show I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I have a couple bits I want to do similar to that.
Oh, well, go ahead.
I've already talked about them on this, but I'll do it again. The one I think is called a water waiter, and the bit is you're drinking water, and you're at a fancy restaurant, and you take a sip of water, and this waiter immediately refills your cup, and you're like, oh, okay, that was kind of weird. And then he's just like hovering around the table with a little glass of water, with a little jug of water, and every time you take a sip, he immediately refills it, and you start trying to cover your cup, and he says, I have to fill the water. I have to fill the water. And then...
So is that like an example of like a funny joke?
No.
So is that like a sketch then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was not a... I have jokes. They may not be funny, but I have them.
Sorry, were you talking to me?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. Okay. Did I answer that question thoroughly enough for you?
Yeah. I mean, so I guess I had a follow-up question. What character in Cars do you see yourself most like?
Well, as a kid, I really liked Mater. I don't remember that.
And I see a lot of that in you for sure.
And I don't like him now.
Oh, what changed, Aaron?
He's kind of annoying. But I don't know. I like Doc Hudson and I like Lightning McQueen. He's pretty cool. But Dynaco guy, the blue car, I don't remember his name. I liked him a lot because I like the color blue.
And is that still true for you at this age, or was that more of a childlike thing?
That I like the color blue?
That you like that car? Because
Oh, yeah, I like that car. He's cool.
So what do you think changed since you were a child and you lost kind of Mater's childlike innocence, and now you've matured and you've become more like a
honestly, I think
racer kind of guy? What happened to you in that time where you feel like, this evolution of Aaron, these changes within you are taking place where suddenly Mater's not your favorite character anymore?
Well, I think what happened, honestly, is Mater's coming back to me now. I think as a kid, I used to do some crazy, wacky things, You wouldn't believe the kind of things I did.
What kind of things would you do?
crazy and wacky things. And then I switched and I kind of I was like, I gotta be like everybody else, you know, I gotta buckle down and become cool. And then I realized, I don't remember when, wait a minute, Kid Aaron was right. It's cool to be weird. It's not hip to be square.
So there's a little bit of angst coming through there, you think, and a rebellion to
I don't know what angst
previous
means.
state.
I don't know what that word means.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm rebelling against anything. I feel like,
Well, never mind. I'm sorry. That was probably a poorly phrased question. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to derail the show.
okay, well, you know, off the tracks, kind of like sometimes cars will go off the tracks in the Cars movie.
Ooh, like the racetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you write that one down?
No, that was right off the top of
Off
the head.
the top of the head.
Top of the dome. What's left in here, at least.
And this is why I think people listen to your program. I think little moments like that, you couldn't get them anywhere else, and they really encapsulate the Aaron experience.
That's cool. You want to hear a cool something I saw this week?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And there are 3 people on right now. Just a reminder.
One of the people on is just like fidgeting a lot. Looks like he's just playing Minecraft on his phone.
He nodded his head in recognition on the radio. He's giving us a little radio nod there for the folks listening at home.
For you audio listeners.
But the video fans are a big fan of the signature Heath nod and lean back and giggle off mic. It's a pretty iconic.
Yeah. Talk about derailing the show. Speaking about derailing, did I tell you about there's a show called Heavy Rescue where you rescue semi-trucks?
Is it animated or is it like
No,
okay.
it's a real show. Kind of like the fireman show, you know, where firemen, I'm not supposed to say that anymore. Fire people.
Good catch.
My bad. Sorry. I saw a treasure chest today. When did I get Taco Bell, Heath? Okay. Thanks for that. I got you Taco Bell too, and you still owe me money.
Let's get into that. What's going on with you guys right now? There's a little tension in the room. Heath is really afraid to speak on the air right now. Something about this debt owed.
He owes me money for 2 bean burritos and 2 cheesy roll-ups. I didn't get the cheesy roll-ups thing because that's something we can make at home. But the 2 bean burritos from Taco Bell are pretty good.
Yes, they are good. I would agree. I
Okay,
offered to
that's
vent you
enough.
back.
All right, we just muted him. So when I was biking to
Aaron,
talk,
sorry, could you check my levels real quick?
say something.
Could you? Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was biking to Taco Bell, and I saw a golf cart, and in the back of the golf cart was a treasure chest. And I just saw this golf cart just on the sidewalk, biking the opposite direction of me, and I was like, I didn't know there were any pirates that used to live in Corvallis. And it's kind of like, what's going on with that? Why, Caston? What is your take? Why was there used to be pirates in Corvallis?
My take on you seeing a treasure chest, or do I believe that there used to be pirates in Corvallis?
Well, I mean, there has to be pirates in Corvallis, or otherwise, how would I have seen a treasure chest?
Well, I guess the question you should really ask is, where did pirates get the treasure chest from? Because they didn't only exist on boats, right? So someone had to have them before the pirates took them.
What?
Well, I mean, they couldn't make the treasure chests on the boats, right? They had to be made on land.
Why not?
And you can't get gold out of the ocean, right? I mean, they're
I
not
think
just...
you can.
Someone had to put it in a chest and then put it on a boat.
Maybe that treasure chest never left here.
Exactly. Maybe the Corvallis, Oregon, there's the gold mines that we're very famous for, and maybe they filled up a treasure chest there.
I don't think that's right. I don't think we have gold mines here. I think we do have mines, but not gold.
Well, then maybe we do have pirates, Aaron. I might have gotten some bad information.
Yeah, pirates are pretty cool.
Have you ever seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
No. Anyways, the next thing I saw, I was biking back and I saw KFC. You know KFC?
Did we used to have people from Kentucky and Corvallis?
Maybe. That's crazy. Anyways, it turns out they make some cheap apple turnovers. Real cheap, by the way. You can get 2 of them for $1.75. I'm not sponsored, by the way. But you can get 2 apple turnovers from KFC for $1.75. That again is 2 apple turnovers for $1.75. In case you wanted an apple turnover, 2 of them from a place that sells fried chicken. Is known for selling fried chicken. My bad.
Now I think they're known a little bit for selling apple turnovers.
I should hope so. You can get 2 of them.
For how much?
$1.75. For $1.75. Sorry, I just had a little ant that I had to eat and crawl back up. I start tickling my.
The good old Aaron ants. I heard about them before.
Yeah, I've eaten ants before. I once ate an ant to impress a girl.
How'd that go over?
Not well. She was just like, Aaron, why did you do that? That ant was alive. And I said, so? That really happened, by the way.
And that's how you know a story's true, folks.
Yeah. Just like somebody, I don't remember who, fed a bus a carrot. That really happened.
That was a sweet Chael Sonnen Noriega MMA reference.
Okay. This last...
I mean, you talk like him, but you're like you ripped a bit that he made to call out a fight in a video.
I don't know
It
what you're
had
talking...
nothing to do with anything you were saying. The drawing line there was that they both had a reference to eating something.
I like to eat food. I don't know what your point...
Does the girl at your work like to eat food, Aaron?
What work? The next note I have... Oh, actually, this note is not about the radio show. It's let's see. It says altering the subconscious sound system. I don't know what that note means. I don't know if I actually wrote that. I think it's talking about how... Oh, I remember. I was watching a video talking about a movie talking about how the sound alters your subconscious. Real highbrow stuff. Stuff that I don't know if I should talk about.
That was a great segment.
Yeah. Any questions, Caston?
Yeah, what is going on?
What do you mean?
I'm just a little confused.
Okay. That's not really a question. That's more of a statement.
I guess if you don't answer it is just a statement.
You know, I ripped that off too, but you didn't notice that. I ripped that off.
I feel like if I called out everything you ripped off, we'd be here all night.
Yeah, that's true.
We definitely have the same YouTube recommended.
Really, really highbrow stuff. Do you guys know you're made out of bacteria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 30% of your body weight, right?
That's crazy. It's like there's a whole microbiome in you. Well, that was that note. Jokes, right? Do you want to? What was you had a question about jokes? I think, but I don't remember what it was.
I was asking if you were working on any jokes right now.
No.
And I guess are you working on like a sketch show or anything? Because you pitched a sketch earlier. Do you record sketches?
No, but I want to. And well,
is it just a part of your writing process where you don't want to feel like let the medium stifle you creatively? So you're kind of just keeping it open?
Well, should we talk about how I write things?
Yeah, sure. Let's get into your process. Let's get into the Aaron experience.
Well, what happens is
before you get started on that, can you just check my levels real quick?
Yeah. I don't think this bit is very good, but your levels are fine.
All right, thank you.
The Aaron experience writing process is I get really sleep deprived, and then I'm like, you know, it'd be funny if I wrote a joke about a whale, and then I write a joke about a whale.
Do you have that joke?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's called Nathaniel the Great joke.
Oh, cool. Well, you cool saying it on air or no?
Yeah, I'll say it on air.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think I've said it before, but it's a great joke, by the way. I think it's a bad practice for comedians to hype up their jokes before they come out, you know? I think for a comedian to say, this joke is a really good joke, you guys are going to enjoy this.
Well, how would people know whether to enjoy it or not?
Exactly. I've heard this from a very famous guy named Chael, is that you should you tell the audience what they want. You don't give the audience choice. Audience doesn't know what they want. They know what they don't want. They don't know what they want, though. So that's a principle I like to take, right? Is, okay, let's get with this joke. There's this guy, Nathaniel, right? And he's at this bar, and it's a Friday, but it's a Friday like afternoon, evening. I don't know how afternoon and evening. I don't know what the difference is between those. He's just there early. He got off work early. He's talking to the bartender because that's the only person there. And the bartender, they're having a great old conversation. The bartender's like, what's your name? The guy says, Nathaniel. And the bartender says, oh, like Nathaniel the Great. And the guy says, who? And the bartender says, you know, Nathaniel the Great. And he says, whoa, a coincidence. Nathaniel the Great's on the TV right now. Why don't you take a look? And Nathaniel, the guy, turns and looks and sees Nathaniel the Great, which happens to be a whale, a big giant whale, one of the biggest whales, splashing around, frolicking, having a grand old time. It was like a Discovery Channel special as they're filming Nathaniel the Great. And the bartender says, it seems like you two have a lot in common. And Nathaniel says, excuse me? And the bartender says, well, Nathaniel the Great is out there having a grand old time, splashing around, having lots of fun, and you're having a whale of a time talking to me right now.
I like that one. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did. So, yeah, that's one of my jokes that I've written. That's an Aaron original. That's one of two, actually, that I like.
One of two jokes you've written, or just one of two that you're comfortable sharing?
One of two that, like, I wrote everything. Because there's jokes where I've taken...
You've stolen a lot of jokes.
Yeah, stolen parts of them. I don't steal full jokes most of the time.
Nice. You're kind of like Dr. Frankenstein. You're just collecting pieces and just assembling, your own creations.
Was his last name Frankenstein?
I think so.
I don't know.
Because it was Frankenstein's monster was the monster, right?
Yeah, I think I finished that book. It was a good book. Really good book. Really sad. And it turns out if you read a little bit about the author, Mary Shelley, life was not kind to her. I just know a lot of bad stuff happened to her. A lot of people died that were close to her. And then that book kind of came out of that process. And you can see the ups and downs emotionally of that book. Of like, good book. Couldn't recommend it more. I don't remember what we were talking about.
I think I asked you to tell a joke.
Oh yeah, I did. The way I wrote that joke is I was like, I want to tell a joke about a whale. And then I was like, so I was like, okay, Aaron, I set a challenge for myself. I remember this. I was like, Aaron, you're going to tell a joke about a whale in a bar and then the name Nathaniel, and you're going to combine those all three together. And then I did. And that's how that joke came about. Is I like ran through some ideas in my head and I was like, that won't work. That won't work.
Is writing traditional jokes just too easy for you where you feel like you have to impose these sort of challenges on yourself?
I'm not very good at writing jokes. I don't like doing that. I prefer to write like scripts where I can insert jokes in my scripts. And like the whole script itself is a joke. Like meta humor,
Like Facebook.
Yeah, real funny stuff. Mark Zuckerberg, he's a funny guy. Nobody just realizes it.
You do have a lot of Mark Zuckerberg in you.
Yeah, I'm really smart. Another comedian I feel like I don't appreciate enough, don't say, is like Shakespeare. I feel like I take a lot of inspiration from Shakespeare because, I'm, what is it? He has excellent prose. I think that's how you say that word. And I have that too.
Yeah, I think there is a certain eloquence in the way you told that joke that really puts you up at the bar. You're one of the great masters, I think.
Yeah. They call me the Shakespeare of Oregon.
Of meta humor, maybe. The Shakespeare of meta humor.
Well, I mean, Shakespeare understood meta humor himself. So. Another funny person like that is Jane Austen. People don't realize it, and people are like, oh man, Jane Austen kind of boring. Jane Austen was really funny. You just have to be smart to get it. And lucky for me.
What is your favorite Jane Austen joke?
Well, I can't come up with one on the top of the head.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
The reason, I'm glad you bring this up. I have read Jane Austen. I have read her
book.
You kind of put me on the spot here because I've read so many of them for me to single out which one will kind of, there was one that starts with I think it's Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies is the one I've read.
I've heard of that, I think.
Yeah, real great one. I have read another. I don't remember the name though. I think it started with but Jane Austen would I remember somebody died of heartbreak and it was really funny.
That is pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the bit. And I think she drew it out for a really long part of the book too, and just kept making you could tell they were being made fun of if you're smart like me and can understand those kind of things.
I don't know if I'm as smart as you, Aaron. I didn't really find that book very funny.
Well, maybe you know.
Maybe I'll give it another read and try and read
Yeah.
it through your lens and see if I can.
I did have
share
a
that
good. I had a good reading partner though with that. Somebody that you would know too. We're gonna take a quick little break and yeah. All right, and we are back. Catherine, what are we talking about next? What's next? What's on the docket?
I think you have the docket, Aaron. I don't think that was passed around to me.
No, I think you do. I emailed it to you.
What's my email?
castedandimreallycool@gmail.com.
Well, you caught me. I guess I hadn't checked my email.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to send me an email, 100% right there. castingiscool@gmail.com.
I thought you had one more question for me.
I might have. I
Okay.
think I got lost in your elegant prose.
Okay. Heath, you have anything to add? You said you had a funny story to tell.
Did I?
Yeah. You said it was a story about how the time you like jumped out of an airplane.
Oh yeah, I jumped out of an airplane once.
That's an awesome story, Heath.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything else you want to say about it?
But didn't you say something about how there was a broom involved in the landing procedure, and people thought you were Harry Potter for a week?
Well, not in the landing procedure, but when I jumped out, I was on a broom, like Wizard or Whisk-esque, but then I did a parachute jump thingy.
So the broom didn't work.
No, it didn't.
Defective broom, I guess.
So not actually very much like Harry Potter at all.
Well, I was on
Just
it
like
in
a
the air.
regular guy with a broom.
No,
No?
no,
Oh, sorry.
But you had the glasses, though, I thought, right?
no, I didn't. It wasn't inspired by Harry Potter because
What was
Like-
it inspired by?
just witches and wizardry in general.
Hmm.
So you and Aaron both steal things.
No, that's slander.
I steal more like money and people's personal things, and Aaron steals jokes.
I think that's more respectable.
Yeah.
So you're saying I'm less respectable out of the three of us?
I'm definitely the least respectable person in this room. I don't really think it comes close. I can't really get into it on air, but
Okay, that's great. Yeah, just bring up a story you can't talk about.
well, it's not a story.
Okay, yeah.
It's more
yeah.
about a lifetime of actions.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
Great.
could get my own radio show and probably
great
talk
radio
about
show hosting right now, Caston.
It. Well, aren't you the host, Aaron?
No.
Am I not hosting? Isn't this your
Well,
Aaron
we talked.
radio hour?
We talked about this. The point of a guest is not to interview the guest. I've given you the hosting honors so you can interview me.
Oh, I can make this my show?
Well, within reason,
Oh, interesting.
but it has to be about me. This is all about me.
Well, there is one thing I'd like to bring up, but I was told not to talk about it in the hallway.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're going to bring up there.
I'm not going to bring up anything.
Okay, good.
Boundaries were set before we came in this room, and I understand that.
Boundaries were set. I'm sure the audience is loving this too, right? Being told, oh yeah, there is stuff to talk about, but we're not going to talk about
I
it.
could just talk about it.
No, we're not. I'm gonna. Let's talk about something that I know a lot about. Food.
Oh, they're going to say something else.
Let's talk about food.
Yeah, sure. Are you a big cook, Aaron?
Yeah, I am.
What kind of stuff do you like to cook?
Food. Burritos. I eat a lot of beans. I don't cook them. I eat them though. I like sausages.
Cool.
Yeah. At my work, I cook burgers and stuff and burritos and stuff, which I go to. There are people there that at my work. There might be people at my work listening right now.
Hello, everyone at Aaron's work.
Yeah.
So do you cook outside of work?
Yeah.
What kind of foods have you been making to bulk up? I mean, we kind of touched on it
Yeah.
earlier, and you said something about canned beans. But
Yeah, a lot of those.
canned beans aren't actually very calorically dense if you're trying to gain weight.
I've gained weight though, so I think you're wrong on that.
Okay.
But you're wishing you didn't say that now.
I kind of am, yeah. I guess maybe this whole endeavor was maybe a little bit of a mistake.
I don't remember. Heath, what have I been eating?
Beans,
Okay. What else?
sausage.
Well, I was eating eggs. I was eating eggs until something happened with those eggs. Huh, Heath?
Did Heath fertilize your eggs?
Cass, there are lines that we do not cross. I feel like you may have crossed it.
Well, I don't know if he's like an agricultural major and something may have gotten mixed up with some sort of biology assignment.
Nice save. No,
This is a farm college.
he ate he ate one of my eggs and he ate his last egg. And he's not even bulking intentionally. I don't know if he is or not. I haven't questioned him on that sort of endeavor.
Heath, are you bulking right now?
I'm not.
No, at least not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
Okay.
No.
So just 2 eggs, you know, for the fun of it,
Well, it's with ramen.
2 eggs is a lot of food for one person to eat.
unless you're bulking
Yeah.
intentionally.
I think that's 156 calories.
See, I don't like counting calories because that's a lot of math, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
What are you majoring in again?
Mechanical engineering.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you know, I don't. I don't like math. I don't count calories because you know that's kind of boring. And if you know anything about me, I'm not a boring guy. I live my life on the wild side. If I don't know what that means though. I have been fermenting things a lot of things.
Like what kind of? I've been making yogurt recently, which is it takes about 8 hours fermentation process.
So like probiotic yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe a lot in probiotics. I think they're great for you, and I eat a lot of those.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you ferment?
I just started making some apple cider. Heath, are we allowed to talk about this?
I think so.
Okay, I just started making some apple cider.
Like alcoholic?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not like allowed to allude to alcohol on the radio?
I don't think we're allowed to promote it, but I think we're allowed to talk about it. Like,
So I couldn't be like Aaron's apple cider coming to a store near you, but we
Well,
can
I'm
say
not-
like I'm brewing an apple cider.
or like promote like the like consumption of it.
Oh yeah.
Also, I
Like
can't
I can't
promote
talk about like the cool, refreshing taste of a Bud Light.
No, I don't think so.
for
Okay.
many reasons. You can't do that. I also
Cold Blue.
okay.
The Rockies. of a Coors Light.
Okay, we're good.
Or how Budweiser is the king of all beers.
All right. Next thing we're talking. I make green smoothies every morning. You may know about this. Do you remember when I would drink green smoothies in the morning?
I do. I remember that.
I make my own now.
It was the darndest. Every morning, Aaron would drink a green smoothie.
I mean, that's why I look the way I do. I still do
God. What do you put in those? How do I stay away from that?
microplastics. That was a joke. I eat those regularly.
The joke is that you eat them regularly, or that
They're not in the green stuff. I consume
okay.
them differently, at different methods.
Okay.
Because microplastics. How much disinformation can I spread on here? That's the new bit. Is how far can I go? I poured some yeast in one of my green smoothies and saw what and then let it ferment and was like, what's going to happen?
No, and what happened?
It didn't taste good.
Oh, that's a scientific. Maybe you should change your major, man.
I do like science, but I don't know.
have a fermentation science major. I think you're pretty close to a minor, at least, with that little experiment.
That would be cool. I would love to do that. And then I also took some. Do you know Sweethearts, the candy?
Yeah, I think I've heard of those before.
Yeah. So I got those from Valentine's Day.
Oh, from who? Did you just buy them at the store?
My mom gave them to me.
That's cool. That's cute.
Yeah. I didn't get anything else though. So what I
sorry
did
to
is
hear that.
what?
I said I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I bet everybody else is really sorry and sad that they didn't give me anything else either.
These ladies are missing out.
Yeah.
That's what they're really doing. All the
Yeah.
women listening right now.
I'm not angry that I didn't get anything. So, anyways, I took those candies, I crushed them up, mixed them with some water, poured some yeast in there, and then let it ferment and do its thing.
And what happened?
It tasted like kombucha that was okay and not great.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not like that's out of the 2 things I've done, it's the best one.
Because I don't think you make kombucha by putting yeast in water. I don't think that's.
Well, you obviously you need something to ferment, like sugars. You need some sugars.
I think kombucha is you need a SCOBY to make that.
Okay, well,
A symbiotic culture of bacteria
Yeah,
and yeast, which is a
we've
separate
made-
entity for fermentation.
we've made kombucha before.
And did you use a SCOBY?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the
Sorry.
mother.
Yeah.
It tastes like apple cider vinegar because we let it go too long, I think. Anyways, it had the same level of alcohol as the kombucha. That's why I said it tasted like a kombucha, which is very little because there wasn't much to ferment.
The Smarties water.
The Sweethearts.
Oh,
2 different
Sweethearts,
things.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What messages did they say before you put them in the water?
What are you talking about?
Well, isn't that kind of a... Sweethearts have messages on them, right, Heath?
Yeah, there's little writings on the hearts, like
Well,
in
I
chalk.
don't like being happy, so I didn't read them.
Mm. And how does your mother feel about that? That she sent you like a heartfelt message and you just ignored it?
My mom thinks I'm kind of weird. That's probably what the answer is. Well, my mom has said many times, she said, I've told her I have a radio show, and then she's like, oh, do you have listeners? I'm like, yeah, I have some. And she says, well, I bet nobody enjoys it, though.
Does she listen?
No.
So I've just been wasting my time on the air.
Yeah. Let's stop. My parents, I think, like, the show is like, they're like, Aaron's doing his weird thing again. Oh, well, we clearly did something wrong.
But aren't they happy that you're going to school to get a good degree?
Yeah, but they're like, he should have finished it sooner and not failed as many classes as he did.
Are you all right, Aaron?
No. Let's go on to I have this little script I could read. Should I do that?
Yeah, sure. That's a good way to start any segment, is to announce that you're going to read a script.
Well, how else is the audience going to know what I'm doing?
I hadn't thought of it that way. I'm sorry.
Because, it's like the audience may think I've been reading a script this whole time.
Right, and you want to let them know you have at least a little bit of original content coming straight off the top of the head.
Yeah. I think that was an insult, but I'm going to take it not as one. This is some of my longtime listeners this is recycled content because I don't like doing hard work to make new things. I'm not motivated. I'm like kind of happy right now, so I'm not motivated to make new content.
Why don't we talk about what's making you happy?
I've been eating lots of food recently.
Nice. What kind of foods?
Well, I've been eating canned beans.
Really? And how are those calorically?
I think good, but I don't like to count them. So, I did get some lasagna last week, which I was very happy about.
Really? From where?
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just because I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
No, I do. I do remember. Sorry, I lied. I do remember. I just don't actually. It's like, okay. Let's. What were you talking about?
I think you had a script you were going to read.
Yeah. This is how to be funny and charming like me. That wasn't scripted, by the way. That what I just read, I came up right now.
Or we're 2 layers deep in the script right now, and we're having kind of like a meta breaking moment.
Okay.
Where inside of the
script. When you reveal the secrets, it kind of takes away from the audience.
I was posing a hypothetical.
You may have hit it too much on the head, though. All right, now we finished that page. Yeah, that was a funny joke right there.
That got me. That was funny.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Today you will learn from one of the most talented individuals I know. That, of course, is me. This is not due to the fact that my circle of acquaintances is limited by the fact that me and acquaintances are limited. In their knowledge as opposed to me. That makes sense. I get it now. I was just saying that my acquaintances, I have them. I have acquaintances.
Aaron, you're going off script.
And they are limited in their knowledge as opposed to me. But I've waffled on long enough. That's another joke that I've used before is I've waffled on. And then I eat a waffle while saying that. I've done that before.
I hadn't thought of it like that. That's a good twist on that joke.
But I've done that. So you can't do that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was writing that down as you said it, but I'll have to scratch it off.
Hold on. Let's see. I've waffled on long enough. Maybe have a waffle in hand for this part. That's actually on the script.
That's good. I like that maybe have a waffle, even though that was the joke. It was an option.
Well, because this was going to be a video and I was going to be eating the waffle, and I think I did.
Oh my God. Are we churning through your video ideas right now?
Yeah, because I'm recycling content.
Should we take our shirts off?
Yeah, I'm sure our audio listeners are going to like that.
I was just trying to set the mood a little bit.
Time to get to the important part. The important part of this video.
Do you guys live together?
Yeah.
Do you hear him record his videos like in your room?
Sometimes, yeah.
People would pay money for that.
I would.
The meat and potatoes one would say. The important part of this video, the meat and potatoes one would say. Okay, that was page 1. We're on page 2 now. Being funny is pretty easy for certain people. Me. But like all things, those people put in hours practicing their craft. How do you practice being funny, you may ask? It is very simple. All you need to do is stand on the shoulders of others and use their work for inspiration. You just need to watch individuals you find. This is boring. In practicing their craft, you'll develop your own assortment of jokes and wisecracks that take pieces of all...
Can you share some of your wisecracks?
I don't know what that word means. Of all those funny individual styles, and you'll ultimately still be link to you. This is not a simple process. It takes a long time and many mistakes. All this is crossed off. However, in my case, I was born funny. I, of course, have taken inspiration many years, and my jokes have seen growth and evolved. If you're not constantly striving to learn and grow, then you're falling behind. I think I took that quote from somebody. With that game plan laid out, even the most unfunniest of people, that's where you guys say your names,
Caston.
Heath.
can have a chance of actually getting people to like them. Oh, I actually called somebody out on this. I didn't realize. I'm not going to say their name because that would be mean. Now we move on to the much, much harder topic, how to be as charming as me. The only words I have on the subject is that nobody can be as charming as me, the great Aaron Kemper, and you better believe it. And I was going to eat a stick of butter while saying that. Butter, believe it.
Oh,
Eat a stick of butter.
2 consumption food jokes in 1 script.
Yeah, I like food, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
A lot
It
of
speaks to your appetites in general, I think. Just
Yeah.
this voracious desire to consume.
food only.
Maybe.
No, that's it. That's
Well, it could be alluding to something greater. I think
Food.
especially when you're writing about it and you're thinking of like a narrative and a deeper meaning when we compare you to Shakespeare. I don't know if we can take what you say on the surface level. There might be a little subtext there we should read into.
nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I might have been stretching a little bit.
Yeah, I'm no Jules Verne. I don't know if anybody gets that reference right there, but that was a deep cut reference right there to Jules Verne and the author of Journey to the Center of the Earth, which is based in Iceland, which I have been to, and I have seen Mount Snæfell's, where that book was based. But I read a biography about him, and there's a lot of interesting subtext to his books, and I was making a reference there to that. I was saying that I'm not like him, because I'm not. I'm not one of the greatest science fiction literary authors of all time, you know.
But how could we expect you to be when you're already doing so much work for the comedy scene here in Corvallis?
That's true. I have thought about performing stand-up here in Corvallis.
Would you do like 5 minute, like a little, like an open mic set?
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but it would involve food.
Like talking about food or possibly?
No, I'd be eating during
Oh.
the set.
What kind of jokes would you have about eating food?
Well, should I just spoil the first part of the routine?
I don't know. I think I'd be looking forward to it to see it live, Aaron. What are your dates coming up?
Well, I don't have any. I'm kind of busy. I'm trying to not fail my classes while still being comedically successful and grow my audience.
Is the radio show is doing a big part for that too, huh?
I don't know. I have honestly no idea if anybody listens to this. Because I'm too afraid to ask. That would require talking to people I don't know, and that is scary.
That is true. We could start polling people for an hour before every show and say, do you listen to the Aaron Experience?
I have wanted to go out, and now that it's sunny, and I can actually interview people and ask them funny and wacky questions as I play a funny and wacky character.
Who would that character be?
Well, Aaron. The wacky Aaron. The funny and wacky Aaron, which I can do. I can be funny and wacky.
Have you ever thought about bringing him onto the radio show sometime?
No. I prefer to be the non-funny Aaron on the radio show. I mean, I can do it. Like, I can be the character that's all, full of life and personality, you know? That's, all bubbly and stuff. That's just a lot of work, and I don't like doing that. I can play the Aaron that's, depressed, too. That's a real easy character that comes to me pretty naturally.
What kind of jokes would he write?
All right, this is that performance from his point of view. This is what he would do. Hello, everybody. Today we're so I recently ate some chicken today,
Oh, he switched the diet up.
and it, really, I was hoping it'd make me feel something inside, and it made my stomach feel something inside, but the rest of me, I didn't feel anything.
Hey yo.
See, that is another character that I've played before. That's just a character. Do you hear some people cheering for me out there?
I think I did. I think that was a
Wow.
pretty good reception on that. Our listeners are very vocal.
Yeah,
I think you have a large population of on-campus listeners.
I hope I do. You know, the whole point of this is eventually maybe a girl will talk to me. Will talk to me. Eventually, that was what the YouTube channel was actually created for.
Hmm.
And then I realized I don't need to see a therapist if I can just do my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
I
works
think
wonders.
That's really explains a lot.
I've been wanting to get a psychologist on here and see if I can grill them.
About what?
I have lots of theories, lots of theorems and thingies and plans and stuff, you know.
Plans.
I didn't say that word. Pretend I didn't say that. Let's forget I
Can
said
you
anything
say
about
that on
plans.
air?
Let's forget I said anything about plans. I don't have any plans for nothing is planned out in my life. But yeah, like I did, like, you know, like predicting the future, which would help plans if I had those, you know, because I think you can do that. I think that's possible. I may or may not have done that before.
Positive visualization, yeah.
Well,
And the power of prayer can move mountains, Aaron.
that is true. But like, you know, I wasn't referring to that at all. I was referring to like how like
a psionic ability, like some kind of
yeah, like I have superpowers.
yeah.
Yeah, you know that's true.
Yeah, 300-pound deadlift is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, I didn't touch the bar either when I did that.
Wow.
I was like looking at it with my head. I just did a thing with my hands.
So then how could you call that a deadlift?
Well, right now I was like doing a gesture on the audio listeners can't see what I'm doing with my
I
hands.
can't see you either.
Yeah. That's for a good reason. Don't know what it is. One of the things when I make plans, which I don't have, is I have this idea. I want to talk to somebody like our psychologist about the psychologist. Sociology deals with society, you know.
And we live in a society, don't we?
We do. We do. And society is you if you know that stuff, you can predict things better. But one of my plans I have, when I do have plans, which I don't have,
Is to like create a perfect society.
we're not going into that right now because that is a plan I have.
Oh, how would you do it?
I wrote about this when I was in elementary school, actually.
Oh, God.
And we're not going to go into that because that is one of those things that probably should be off limits and nobody should ever know again. What I thought as a kid. What was I saying? I don't like to do things for one reason and one purpose. You know, I don't think that's a good practice. I think it's always a good practice to have multiple reasons, multiple purposes why you're doing one thing. Like, let's say I eat a whole bunch of food. I'm not eating it just to eat.
Right, you're eating it to bulk.
I'm eating it to gain the caloric intake of eating the food. I'm also getting it because I like it. I'm also filming it while eating it because I know my audience viewers for some reason will like that.
We do like it, Aaron.
Yeah, people like watching me eat. Any other questions, Caston?
Could I tell a joke?
Sure.
It's clean. It's a clean joke.
Okay.
It's safe for the radio.
You vacuumed all over it.
Yeah. Hit it with a Swiffer.
Swiffers don't actually work that well though, but okay.
I swept it with a broom.
That's good. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a hardwood or tile joke. Maybe it's not carpeted.
So you mopped it.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess it'd be a more deep clean. I could mop it.
That's a good joke. I'm glad you told that. I didn't know you're such a big cleaning guy.
I'm actually not. I was wondering if I could tell my joke.
Yeah. I keep waiting for you.
All right. So what do you think the most dangerous kind of dog is?
Yeah. I don't like this. I know the start of this joke too. So that's why I'm not a big
There's no way you know. I came up with this joke myself. What do you think the most dangerous kind of dog is?
This is a Norm joke.
No.
This is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
This is not. This is a joke I came up with in my house. I'm just. Can you let me do the setup?
Okay. What is the joke? What is the dog? I don't know.
I'm telling the joke.
Okay.
I'm asking you a question to initiate the joke.
I don't
it's
know
called
dogs.
A setup.
I wouldn't know that.
Well, so let's just think of a dog breed that you would think. Heath, what do you think the most dangerous kind of? A lot of people say pit bull, maybe Rottweiler,
That's what I think.
like German Shepherd, maybe.
Yeah,
A
probably.
hot dog?
Some, they got like a hot dog. That's pretty comical. Some with like a strong bite force. If it sinks its teeth in, it's not going to let go. Like attack dogs. They're really dangerous.
A Frankfurter.
Yeah, Frankfurter, German word for hot dog. But, before pit bulls, became like some of the most violent dogs in the United States. Thrashing toddlers and just thrashing, biting their teeth into
You're
people.
on thin ice right now.
Does that not happen?
Okay, let's continue the joke.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
So pit bulls are really, they're really like a really dangerous breed of animal in the United States. But, before it was pit bulls, the dogs that were really tearing kids up
I don't
were
like this.
Dalmatians. And they were really stealthy dogs, and they get into tall grass. And if a kid was sitting, they'd pull it away and you'd never see it again. And they're really well known for being like these super sneaky animals. Nobody could see them coming. But you notice during our lifetimes, it doesn't happen anymore.
Okay. I get the joke now.
I think they've all been spotted for a while now.
That's not where actually I thought the joke was going.
Where'd you think it was going?
I thought you're going to say everything's in color now, so it's a lot easier to see them
Oh,
because they're black and white.
that would have been good.
Yeah. Okay, well. I'm glad you laughed at your own joke.
I thought it was pretty funny.
That's a sign of a good joke. That's not at all what I thought the joke was, because there is a Norm joke that is that joke.
Oh,
And we'll
About
talk
violent
about this
dogs?
off air.
yeah. What's a frog's favorite beer?
It has to be really hoppy.
Yeah, it's an IPA because it's really hoppy.
I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer to walk. But not cooking those. I don't like cooking at walks. I like walking home, though.
Oh, damn, triple.
There we go.
Did you write that down?
Yeah. It's on the back of my hand. It all sweated away because I'm really nervous. I don't know how to end things very well. That's what my wife said when she divorced me. So I really didn't end it. That was a joke. None of that actually happened. Well,
Signing off, folks.
Heath, any closing? We have 4 minutes. Heath, any closing remarks?
No.
What if we counted down the seconds from 4 minutes?
I think that's a
until we
really
had to
good
be
bit.
off air?
I think that's what I'm really excited about, actually. I Think You Should Leave has its new season in 2 days.
What if we just waited until then, just sat on the air?
Yeah. That's really good. Let's look at my notes.
Yeah, let's start it out and finish out with the same thing. Should we check my notes?
Yeah, let's check your notes.
Oh, no, we can't say that.
Do you know frogs have teeth?
I didn't.
Yeah, that was in my notes. What is this? A toilet wallet? That's in my notes too. I don't know what that was referring to. Talking about history is an exact science. It doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. That was a quote from somebody, and I thought it was interesting, so I wrote it down. What are your thoughts on that, Caston? Since I would ask Heath, my co-host, of what his thoughts on that, but clearly he hasn't had any thoughts this show. So, Caston, what are your thoughts?
I'm really into history, and I would say that's very true. You see kind of notes and reoccurring themes, but events don't directly repeat themselves.
I don't know. I feel like they have, because like I've eaten a frozen pizza and then the next day I eat another frozen pizza, and that's like repeating itself.
And that is in the past, huh?
Yeah,
But
I can't.
maybe also the future. Aaron,
Yeah.
what do you plan tonight
When I'm planning tonight,
for your frozen pizza?
I can't eat frozen pizzas anymore because I ate too many last year and my stomach is not happy. Oh boy, not happy with that. Like I can't eat anymore because my stomach doesn't like them. I'll probably eat some beans tonight because I haven't had my can of beans. So.
I have like a funny punchline to a joke that I found in my notes, but I could never really get the setup to it going.
Well, okay, we'll workshop the joke for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
the
we can do this.
punchline is, you'd need sunglasses if you put a black light on me. But I'm really trying to work on like a setup to that joke, but I don't know if there's any that I could say on the radio.
Well, how can a light be black? Because light is white, because that's the color. Because black is the absence of light, so that doesn't work.
It's a ultraviolet spectrum of light.
Yeah, violet is not purple is not a color. Violet is a color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Yeah. Purple was made up by Crayola.